Morning children. So we are starting here today with the topic chapter 18 body fluids and circulation. As I told you in the previous video that there is a need of blood circulatory system to transport the food and oxygen to the cell and to carry the waste material to the respective organs from where it is removed. So what are the waste material? The oxygen and food are carried to the cell, and waste material which are formed are carbon dioxide and the excretory waste like the nitrogenous waste material are there. So carbon dioxide is carried to the lungs and excretory waste are carried to the kidney from where it is removed. That means there is a need of a blood circulatory system or a body fluid. The body fluids are actually two in our body, that is blood and the lymph. Here we are discussing the first component of blood circulatory system, that is blood. So how can we define the blood? That blood is actually a special connective tissue. It means it is a liquid connective tissue which consists of matrix, plasma and formed elements. It consists of fluid matrix, blood plasma and formed element. So first of all, here we are taking up the blood plasma. Blood plasma actually it is the liquid part of the blood, and it contains 55, it forms the 55% of the blood, and 90 to 92% of the blood plasma is water only, and rest 6 to 8% are proteins. What are these proteins? These proteins are fibrinogen, globulins and albumins are the major protein which are present in the blood plasma. Now we'll see the function of each one of them. Fibrinogen is one of the protein which helps in the coagulation of the blood. Another protein, globulin, is there which is involved in the defense mechanism. Third protein, albumin, is there which maintains the osmotic pressure or helps in osmotic balance. Now it comes these small amounts of mineral ions like sodium, calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate ions and chloride ions. These are also present in the blood plasma. As far as food is concerned, so food is present in the blood plasma in the form of glucose, amino acids and lipids. Okay, so in blood plasma always these materials are present, and the factors for coagulation of blood clotting, blood has to clot immediately when it's shed from any of the injury. So blood clotting factor is also present in the blood plasma. Plasma without the clotting factor is called as serum. That we will be discussing when we will be discussing the topic blood clotting. So this is all about the blood plasma. Now it comes the formed elements. Formed elements, that means the erythrocyte, that is red blood corpuscles, and leukocytes, that is white blood corpuscles. They are collectively forms the formed elements, and they constitute the 45% of the blood. 55% of the blood is plasma and 45% of the blood is formed element. First of all, it is coming RBC or red blood cell or erythrocyte. So first of all, their number. So number of RBC in an adult person is 5 million to 5.5 million RBC per cubic millimeter of blood. Number two, formation. Formation of RBCs takes place in the red bone marrow. Bone marrow is the pulp of the long bones. Then the structure. The RBC are devoid of nucleus and they are biconcave in shape. Nucleus is absent, biconcave in shape. They are red in color, and red color is due to a pigment called hemoglobin. Then the amount of hemoglobin in an adult. 12 to 16 gram of hemoglobin per 100 cubic milliliter of blood is present in an healthy adult person. Then it comes the function. Function of RBC is to transport of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Then their lifespan. Lifespan of RBC is 120 days. Where do they get destroyed? They get destroyed into spleen, which is called as graveyard of RBC. So this is all about erythrocytes. Now it comes leukocytes. Leukocytes are WBCs, white blood cells. Structure: they are colorless, and in this hemoglobin is absent and they are nucleated. Now the number of RBCs: 6000 to 8000 number RBCs per cubic milliliter of blood are present. Now the categorization. WBCs can be categorized as granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes, that means their cytoplasm is granular, and agranulocytes means cytoplasm does not possess any granules. Now the further classification. These granulocytes can further classified as neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. And agranulocytes can further classified as lymphocytes and monocytes are agranulocytes. Now we are coming to the granulocytes whose cytoplasm is granular. So first granulocyte is neutrophils. So neutrophils are most abundant and they are 60 to 65% of the total WBCs. Next it comes the basophil. Basophil, it forms 0.5 to 1% of the total WBCs. Now neutrophils, and this is granulocyte, and monocyte, it is agranulocyte. Both of them are written together. Both of these actually performs the same function, so that they are written together, and both of them form 6 to 8% of the total WBC, and they are phagocytic in nature. They destroys the foreign bacteria, foreign particles, foreign organism. Now basophil. This was the function of neutrophils and monocytes. Function of basophil. Basophil secretes three chemicals: histamine, serotonin and heparin. I can tell you the function of each one of them. Histamine, actually this at the time of inflammatory response it dilates the blood vessel. Heparin, it is a anticoagulant, and serotonin, it is a vasoconstrictor. That means it constricts the blood vessel, it dilates the blood vessel, and it is a anticoagulant. Within the body the blood should not be coagulated, so that the heparin helps in not to coagulate the blood will not get coagulated inside the body because of the presence of heparin. Now we are here coming to the inflammatory reactions, means the allergic reaction. At that time histamine and serotonin are there, which is a vasodilator and vasoconstrictor. Now it comes this eosinophil. Eosinophil forms the 2 to 3% of total WBC, and they resist the infection. They also means help to develop the immunity. Eosinophils. And now it comes they are associated with the allergic reaction, as I told you, that develops immunity. Now it comes the lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are agranulocytes, and they form 20 to 25% of the total WBCs. Now these lymphocytes are of two types: B cells and T cells. B cell is there for the bone marrow. If the lymphocytes are formed in bone marrow, then they are called as B cell. If they are formed in thymus, then they are called as T cells. They are also responsible to provide immunity. Now the third formed element is thrombocytes. They are also called as platelets, and these are formed by the megakaryocytes, special cells in the bone marrow, and they are the fragments also, and their number is at about 15,000 to 35,000 platelets per cubic milliliter of blood. 1,50,000 and 3,50,000 platelets per cubic milliliter of blood. And then these are also useful for the coagulation of the blood or in the clotting of the blood. Reduction in the number of these thrombocytes or platelets causes the clotting disorder. That means it will cause problem in the clotting of the blood. So this is all about, you can say, the formed element present in the blood or the structure of the complete blood. Thank you.